Well, Páirc Fanning is still waiting for his first championship win as Waterford manager ahead of Sunday's do-or-die battle with Limerick at Welsh Park. Well, on Wednesday, Liz Reddy caught up with the Mount Sion man at WIT, and here's how the conversation went.
Páirc Fanning, down at your workplace, so busy with the day job, but other things on your mind, obviously.
Yeah, look, it's been a busy time of the year, I suppose, work-wise for myself as well. But no, yeah, big game coming up this Sunday now against Limerick, and that's, taking all our focus and all our interest.
So, supporters obviously disappointed, not as disappointed as you guys.
Yeah, of course, we're disappointed they've lost, the first two games, and, we prepared really well, had a super winter, obviously a decent league. Probably a clear game. We felt ourselves we could have won that game. Without probably playing our best. And look, the Tipperary game, then I know the way it petered out in the end after we, I suppose, had the man down, they got the goal. I don't think the actual score reflected, the overall performance of the lads that day. So we're disappointed, but look, we're very keen to make amends. There's two games to play for. It's quite conceivable we can win those two matches and we're back in the championship.
Conor Gleeson's sending off, that did affect the flow of the game. Yeah,
look, the sending off was very harsh, and I thought, that's and it did have a big impact on the game. I have no doubt about it, because and that's not Conor's fault, because I still don't know what the first booking was for, and that's the reality. I just can't figure that. That's it. And look, when we just got back in the game, I suppose they got a goal at the right time, then Tipperary to settle them down. But it did, and I think we were really pushing at that stage. And who knows? You don't know the answer. And look, you have to deal those cards now. It's over. That game is done and dusted. I think we move on. We play Limerick at home, and look, we're looking forward to it, and we can't wait to get up there. And we've trained well since again, and hopefully we can get the maximum out of ourselves.
That tip side were formidable, though, weren't they?
I thought they opened up a bit in the second half, and they got a good start in the game as well. But then I think we did get a foothold and we pulled ourselves back into it. So I wouldn't over-egg how people saying formidable. I don't know. I think they definitely got a run, and teams can do that in hurling. And in the last 10 minutes, they put on probably 2-8 or so very quickly. That can happen, and you'll actually see that regularly at different times in games. But I wouldn't like to see it too often myself anymore. But no, they're a very, very good team, and they're in good form at the moment. But I do think there's an awful lot to play for still. So,
as a manager, what was your tack then? What did you do after the tip game?
Well, we had a chat in the dressing room, obviously, and we had a bit of reflection the following day, because we have to look. You have to, after every game you review, we look at things, and our tact was we know ourselves, then, and we're comfortable in our own skins about how we've prepared, and where we're at in relation to all aspects of our game. So we just you have to kind of, I suppose, compartmentalise that a little bit. And actually, realise there's a lot of good work done. There's a lot of things we have in place, and the lads themselves know they prepped well. So look, we just had to look at where we kind of some of our own errors, I suppose, and went through that. A lot of them were more unforced errors that we're trying to eliminate from our game, and that's part of it. And obviously maintain the belief we have in ourselves and in what we're doing, and that's been good. Training has gone really well since then. Again, we've had a couple of really, really good sessions, and that's the positive. That's credit to the lads as well. They're a serious bunch of players. We've had setbacks like this in previous years as well, and we always adjust.
Limerick, of course, losing out to Cork. They'll want to win on Sunday.
Yeah, and look, the interesting thing is if we can actually get the result that we want the weekend, that puts Limerick in the position we were last week with 2 games gone and 2 games, 2 defeats. If we can try to do that, and that's the intention if we can. So look, they're Limerick. Obviously, they're the All-Ireland champions. Everybody knows, National Hurling League champions. So we know the size of the task, but we also know that we were in the All-Ireland the previous year, and I say we have prepared well. And I do think, there's a performance coming from our lads, and I'm looking forward to the weekend. I know the lads are looking forward to the weekend, and all we want to do is do the best we can for Waterford and for ourselves, obviously, as well as a group. And that's the intention. And go into Edge Park, and if we do, I think if we get the win this weekend, that opens up everything again.
Philip Manny is out. Did he break his tibia, or was that an exaggeration?
I think it was a little bit of an exaggeration. He has an injury. It's going to keep him out for a number of weeks, but it's not as bad as portrayed by certain people on other medias or whatever. So he's a loss, because Philip is has been a brilliant servant over the years and a real warrior. So he is a big loss, and was actually doing very well in that game at that stage too. Philip is a loss, and unfortunately DJ Foran suffered a shoulder injury the weekend as well. So DJ is out too, and we've a couple of other little knocks. But these things happen in training, happen all the time. Limerick this weekend, people would have said, they're coming down before the Cork game, they were unbeatable. Cork proved that that's not quite the case. So we're looking forward to that, and I think everybody is available. Can't wait.
Have you picked the team?
No, not yet. Obviously, we're working away. There's a lot of lads, in contention for places. I said we're pretty much close to, bar the two lads who are injured, having everybody else available, hopefully. So, and that's part of the challenge for us. We have a lot of players who are really, really, talented, and it's just getting the right mix. In the league, we had a good few lads out at the time, which would have been ideal if we had everybody available during the league, probably. But look, it is now, and no, we haven't finalised the team yet, and that's going to take a few more days, I'd say.
Can we expect changes then from obviously, you'll have the injured lads out, but.
Yeah, it's hard to say, what I expect to, because like I said, there's very little, that, the lads, I said, everyone's training well. Certain things didn't work for us in the last game. Some of that is down, obviously, as management do have to look at certain things. So it's not, it's not a case of, we're going to enforce a load of change or anything like that. We're not. We're going to look at everything on its merits, look at the opposition, and, come up with a game plan. And whatever we think will fit the best for the game plan, they're the players we go with. Sometimes lads don't play, and it's not because somebody's better than them. It's probably because just for the purpose of that game or the game plan, you've given the nod to somebody else, and that's it. And I think most players at this level are aware of that. At inter-county level, that it's not always just because someone's picked ahead of you, they're better than you, or you're not in form. It's just horses for courses sometimes.
Sometimes when you're under pressure and it's a must-win game, and this is a must-win game, players try too hard. So, what will you be saying to them?
Look, we'll be focused on trying to stick to our game plan and again try and impose as much of the way we want to play on Limerick. And it's in Welsh Park, and we want to get the crowd behind us. We do. Look, we want to get off to a good start. We've started all our games slowly recently. I think every game we played it's a hard one for us. We're trying to figure that out, because including the quarter-final against Clare in the league and going right back through all those games, we've given ourselves 6 and 7 points to come back from, and have come back in each game, including the Tipperary game where we pulled it back to 3 points again with 14 men. So we just need to, we do need to focus on starting a little bit quicker and making sure we're there from the get go. And I think if we can just iron out a couple of little things on that, it'll be very interesting to see when coming down the stretch if we're in contention. I think the lads, they're in the shape to see it through. They'll have the confidence, as well, to see that through. And I think the lads are, ready to deliver a big performance, and we're looking forward to it.
Home support is crucial, I think, at this stage. So, from the get go, you'll want the crowd to get behind you.
Yeah, of course. Look, we want to create a real, atmosphere around our home games. Like we did start slowly, as I said, against Clare the last day, and probably, the crowd didn't get as much encouragement as we wanted to give them from the start of that game. So look, we want to obviously, like I said to you earlier, we want to start quickly. We want to get the crowd behind us, and we need the crowd to really, as it was for the last 20 minutes of that Clare game, roar us on. And you could see them once the lads responded then, and they roared into the game too. So let's, All Ireland champions coming to town, let's hopefully the Waterford crowd are up there. I know they're brilliant supporters anyway, so let's let them hear us, and please God, we can get the result. And that's all we want to do, get the result for everybody and put smiles on people's faces. Everybody's doing their best, we're all getting the right shot, and we're going to keep driving that on.
Lorna Porca with Tomás McCarthy on WLR.
With Hooper Dolan Insurances. For business insurance you can rely on. More info at hooperdolan.ie.